The real reason Jon Snow was banished north. Snow reveals all. Jon Snow got exiled to the Night's Watch for killing Daenerys Targaryen. Or did he? Because here's the plot twist nobody saw coming. The official story might be the biggest political cover-up since Ned Stark lost his head, and the upcoming Snow spin-off is about to blow the lid off the whole charade. What if Jon's banishment was not about justice at all, but about powerful people protecting their own interests while conveniently removing the one man who could destroy everything they built? Buckle up, because this rabbit hole goes deeper than the crypts of Winterfell. Before we expose the political conspiracy that sent our favorite brooding hero back to the frozen wasteland, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Here at Westeros Throne, we are digging up secrets darker than a White Walker's heart and serving theories hotter than Dragon Fire. You definitely do not want to miss this. Let us start with the official narrative, because it is about as believable as Littlefinger claiming he just wants to help. Jon Snow murdered Daenerys Targaryen after she incinerated King's Landing and turned into her father with better hair and worse impulse control. He was arrested, tried, and sentenced to rejoin the Night's Watch as punishment. Case closed, justice served, everyone moves on. Except nothing about that story makes sense when you actually think about it for more than 5 seconds, which apparently nobody in Westeros bothered to do because they were too busy arguing about who gets which kingdom. Here is the first massive red flag. The Night's Watch technically does not exist anymore. The White Walkers are gone, the army of the dead is defeated, and the wall has a giant hole in it courtesy of an undead dragon. So what exactly is Jon watching for? Aggressive penguins? The whole premise of sending him to the Night's Watch is like punishing someone by making them lifeguard at a pool that has been drained and filled with concrete. It makes zero sense unless you realize that exile was never about punishment. It was about removal. Now, let us talk about who actually wanted Jon gone, because this is where it gets deliciously complicated. Grey Worm and the Unsullied were baying for Jon's blood after he killed their queen, which is fair enough. But here's the kicker. Grey Worm and his entire army sailed off to Noth pretty much immediately after Jon's sentencing. They left. They are gone. So who exactly is enforcing Jon's exile? Who benefits from keeping him beyond the wall? Spoiler alert. It is not the Unsullied who are halfway across the world fighting butterflies or whatever is happening on that island. The real answer is the people who ended up with power. Bran Stark became king of the Six Kingdoms. Sansa Stark became queen in the north, and Tyrion Lannister somehow failed upward into being Hand of the King again, despite being responsible for approximately 70% of the disastrous decisions in the past few seasons. These three had everything to gain from Jon disappearing, and here's why. Jon Snow is Aegon Targaryen, the legitimate male heir to the Iron Throne with a better claim than literally anyone else in Westeros. As long as he exists and people know who he really is, he is a walking, talking threat to the entire New World Order. Think about it like this. Bran's claim to the throne is basically, I have a good story and I can see the past, which is the medieval equivalent of saying, I binge-watched the History Channel, so I should be president. It is not exactly a rock-solid foundation for a dynasty. Sansa's independent North only works if nobody questions the legitimacy of the current power structure. And Tyrion's political survival depends on maintaining the status quo he helped create. Now throw Jon Snow into that mix. A proven war hero, a resurrected legend, a man who united wildlings and northerners, who fought the Night King, and oh yeah, who happens to be the actual rightful king. That is a problem. A massive, Aegon-shaped problem. So here's what really happened, and this is where the Snow spinoff is reportedly going to get interesting. Jon's banishment was not about justice. It was about neutralizing a threat. The trial, such as it was political theater designed to satisfy Grey Worm long enough for him to sail away, while simultaneously solving everyone else's Jon Snow problem. They needed him gone, but alive, because killing him would create a martyr and potentially spark rebellions across the realm. Exile to the Night's Watch was the perfect solution. It looks like punishment, it satisfies honor and duty, and it conveniently removes Jon from the political equation without making him a symbol for discontented lords to rally around. But here's where the plan starts falling apart, because Jon Snow has never been good at staying where he is supposed to. The man has the rule-following capabilities of a toddler in a candy store. He joined the Night's Watch once before and ended up king in the North. You really think he is going to quietly live out his days beyond the Wall without something catastrophic happening? The Snow spinoff is going to explore what happens when the truth about his banishment starts coming out. And trust me, there are going to be people in Westeros who are very interested in that information. Let us also address the elephant in the room, or rather, the dragon that is not in the room. Drogon flew off with Daenerys' body and has not been seen since. There are rumors he is in Volantis, rumors he is in Asshai, rumors he is doing literally anything except what would be convenient for the plot. But here's the thing about dragons. They're symbols of Targaryen power, and as long as Drogon exists, so does the possibility of Targaryen restoration. Jon might not want the throne, but dragons do not care about your feelings. They bond with Targaryens, and Jon is the last known male Targaryen with king's blood. That dragon is a ticking time bomb for everyone who benefited from Jon's exile. Then there is the question of what Jon actually knows and what he might reveal. This man has seen things, done things, and knows secrets that could destabilize the entire realm. He knows about Bran's powers and limitations. He knows the truth about the White Walkers and what really happened beyond the Wall. He knows how easily Daenerys descended into madness and how close the entire continent came to total annihilation. That is dangerous knowledge in the hands of someone who has no reason to protect the people who exiled him. The genius of using Jon's banishment as a central mystery is that it forces us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about the Game of Thrones ending. We accepted the official story because we were exhausted and the show was over, but now the Snow spinoff is going to make us question whether justice was ever actually served or if we just witnessed the birth of a new era of political manipulation with a Stark face on it. Because let us be real, the Starks are not the noble, honorable family we thought they were. They played the game just as well as anyone else. They just had better public relations. Here is what the spinoff is likely going to reveal. Jon's exile was negotiated in secret, probably between Tyrion, Sansa, and potentially even Bran before he became king. They needed Grey Worm to believe justice was being served while simultaneously ensuring Jon could never challenge their power. The Night's Watch excuse was perfect because it sounds honorable.